America has a long history of mistreating our members of the military. It is true that we've come a long way since the days of watching anti-war protesters literally spit on troops returning home from Vietnam. But we haven't come far enough. In fact, what we learned this week, thanks to a Senate investigation, is an absolute American embarrassment. Private housing on military bases across the country are in such disrepair that our troops now face serious health effects from mold and other environmental hazards. The report released Tuesday specifically examines conditions at housing units on Georgia's Fort Gordon Army Base and Shepherd Air Force Base in Texas between late 2019 and early 22. The report uncovered this, quote, ongoing mistreatment of these service members and their families and mismanagement that came to trying to repair the damage. I want you to listen to Captain Samuel Cho. He flew from his deployment in South Korea to testify before the Senate subcommittee about the mold exposure he says his family endured at Fort Gordon. He claims his family suffered chronic health issues. He talked about his 8-year-old daughter and her painful severe case of eczema caused by mold. He told the Senate panel his request for repairs and remediation went virtually ignored.
My wife and I have found that my daughter's experience is life-altering and that it will haunt her as well as us for the rest of our lives. She is diagnosed with a condition called severe atopic dermatitis to the point where it's potentially fatal. Unfortunately, the basis of her condition was founded upon what she was exposed to while we resided on post at Fort Gordon by the home which was managed by Balfour Beatty. We told them there's mold in our upstairs. There's mold in our room, in our daughter's room. There's also mold in the bathroom as well as present. We were told every single time that that mold would be addressed by the management and that the management would be in contact with us at some point in time. That never took place at any point in time.
Never took place, he says. Military families aren't supposed to face dangers here at home on base, right? At the heart of all of this is the giant housing company Balfour Beatty that contracts with the military. Balfour provides housing on 55 military bases across 26 states. It pled guilty last year to fraud after the Department of Justice uncovered instances of falsified data in Balfour's internal data management software. The company paid a $65 million fine. Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco put it like this, quote, instead of promptly repairing housing for U.S. service members as required, Balfour lied about the repairs to pocket millions of dollars in performance bonuses. This pervasive fraud was a consequence of broken corporate culture, which valued profit over the welfare of service members. What we heard during testimony this week, once again, sounds awful. No one, much less members of our military, should be subjected to this.
My daughter, her skin, once youthful and supple, is now reptilian in nature.
After moving in, my wife and children started experiencing a wide variety of medical symptoms. After realizing we felt better outside of our home and realized that mold was likely a threat, work was completed with Band-Aid fixes or ignored altogether.
At Whiteman Air Force Base, a large tree limb fell on a car which just moments prior held an infant inside. The request to remove the dying tree from the yard was denied by Balfour Beatty in the months prior to the incident.
We were offered a home that had an active leak from the refrigerator, cigarette butts scattered on the stairs, as well as dirt and roaches on the kitchen floor. When questioned about the condition of the home, the Balfour staff member stated that roaches are normal in Georgia and that the contractors must have accidentally left their used cigarette butts behind.
I don't like what I hear. Those are military families. The families give up so much when their loved ones serve this country. So during the hearing, Balfour Beatty denied any wrongdoing, telling senators it did all it could for residents. It sent us a statement as well. Balfour Beatty insists that the Senate report that was recently released, quote, does not accurately reflect the company's level of commitment to its military residents and their families or acknowledge the significant steps that have been taken to address the small number of complaints that were discussed. Balfour also claims the report contains multiple inaccuracies and mischaracterizations, yet it will, and I quote again, seek to improve as it remains focused on the safety, health, and well-being of the residents. Executives at the hearing also testified there is no more fraud, like the kind they pled guilty to, or manipulation of work orders. But that led to this exchange.
Did your senior executives know that for 6 years the company was engaging in fraud? No. So would you know now if your company was continuing to engage in fraud? Yes, you would.
Well, that still doesn't explain the delays and dangerous conditions that troops say they were forced to live in. The reality is that the Democrat administrations that we've seen in America have a long history of disdain and neglect for our military. Just look at Barack Obama's administration. It left President Trump with a decimated military. Troop morale was at an all-time low. Military equipment, including planes and ships, were in disrepair. President Trump rebuilt it all. He rescued our military and started the process of modernizing our nuclear weapons program, a program Joe Biden wants to cancel. Clearly, when it comes to Joe Biden, there is no urgency to keep our military strong and our troops well taken care of. And that is not a good spot to be in, as Team Biden weakens our military while emboldening our enemies.